The teacher puts students in small groups to do an activity together. The students take the lead in doing the activity. The teacher only provides guidance as needed. The teacher does not put the same students together for each activity, but changes the groupings. That way, students can learn from a variety of partners. So in cooperative learning, the teacher puts students in groups, lets them take the lead in doing the activity, and changes the groupings for different activities. This method helps students learn about sharing, getting along with others, and working together.
What ideas or thoughts came to your mind after seeing the brief video clip? Yes, this is all about the cooperative learning. That's why I showed you this short film since it is today's topic, which we will discuss later. But before that, let me introduce myself first. By the way, my name is Jana Marie Cipres.
I am Maika E. Basaca.
From grade 1 J1, or should I say Bachelor of Elementary Education. So, shall we start? This topic is all about strategy for cooperative learning. What is meant by cooperative learning? So, cooperative learning is defined as small groups of learners working together as a team to solve a problem, complete a task, or accomplish a common goal. And cooperative learning also is one of the most sought and studied teaching strategies nowadays because of its versatility and effectiveness. And it is founded on the principle that the learners can achieve more by working collaboratively than by working alone or by passively receiving information from a teacher. Next. The study of David Johnson and Roger Johnson 1994, they presented the 5 basic elements of small group to be considered as a cooperative one or cited in Killen 2009. The first 5 basic elements is positive interdependence. So meaning the learners must work as coordinated group to achieve specific learner goals. So each student must be confident that he or she is responsible for the learning success of other member of the group. So kanang cooperative relationships becomes important because each member believes that they cannot be successful unless other members are also successful in achieving the group goals. So next. Next is there must be an ongoing direct interaction in which that the students help one another to learn. So the student, they must discuss the task, decide how to approach it or how you approach your members, and also exchange ideas because I believe nga naadyoy mga lain-laing tag mga ideas or opinion. So dapat jud magtinabangay og as a leader dapat i-appreciate jud pod ang naay mo suggest nga ijang members or mohatag ba sa ilang mga ideas para they interact each other, and also they explain to each member how the group can achieve the learning outcomes. And it is not enough that tasks are delegated. Each member should know how the group is going. So next is individual accountability. So meaning all the members are accountable or may pananagutan sa success or tagumpay man or failure. And they should all work hard to ensure that each member of the group performs the assigned task and achieves the learning outcomes of the given activity. And next is the learners must use appropriate interpersonal skills. So, each member should be able to develop the following skills like attentive listening, questioning to clarify ideas, negotiating, and constructively resolving differences. So, kaning mga skills, the interaction will become meaningful and productive. So, and last is reflective learners. So, the participants become reflective learners as they analyze the outcomes they achieve and how well the group functions. So, that's the 5 basic elements of the cooperative learning. So, next. Why does it work? What makes cooperative learning so effective? So, cooperative learning is used worldwide for 3 primary reasons. First is, it is clearly based on theory. It has been proven by various research works, and it has been operationalized into clear procedures that educators can use so that the students are encouraged to work collaboratively in order for them to be more successful academically than when they are working alone. So, di ba, ang student na encourage kay nga mag-work nga naay kauban para kuno maging more successful kay di ba kung naatay kauban nga maghimo sa ato mga projects ba na or reports or mga thesis is nindot kay syempre na para makapangadyo pa po kag mga ideas sa imong kagrupo or imong members ug unsay mga ilang opinion. So nindot di ba kay kung kita wala kay ideas sa imong inyong gihimo nga activity or reports pa na syempre naka imong members nga motabang nga mohatag og opinions, di ba? So nindot jud kaadyo nga kani nga strategies nga cooperative learning is nindot ni siya sa nindot ni nga strategies. So, and next. On the contrary, according to Abramy and Chambers, 1996-71, no matter what teaching strategy is used, student learning is not possible if the students lack of interest or if they do not have a reason for learning. So tinuod jud sakto jud no kung bisag unsa pa na nga teaching strategy gamiton kung ang estudyante wala kundi posibilidad nga ang estudyante kung kulang siya og interest nga matuto or wala siya reason nga matuto, di ba? Kay kung interesado jud ka ana, di syempre daghan jud kang way para matuto. So pero ang gingon diri is lack of interest o walay reason nga matuto. So wala gyud maun sa usa ka tao or sa estudyante kung wala siya reason nga matuto or wala siya interesado ana nga ma-learn. And another important things to consider in using cooperative learning as a strategy is a good atmosphere within each of the group. The members should be comfortable working with one and another for them to be motivated to make the individual effort that is necessary for group success. The members are not just performers but also supporter of their group mates, and they exert extra effort whenever they feel valued. Most components of cooperative learning emphasize that this approach is effective in promoting academic learning and positive peer interaction and relationships. It is the teacher's task to create a learning environment that will make all these expectations become real. So the next is some advantages of cooperative learning.
So, there are some advantages of cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is very versatile, and it can be used in all subject areas at all levels of education. It is not required that the teacher will always employ it in class. The teacher needs to identify the best opportunity to apply it. So, though kuan siya kanang pwede siya gamiton sa tanan nga area sa levels of education, but dili required ang teacher nga i-always siya i-allow sa class or gamiton siya sa class. So, mangita jud ang teacher kanang og best opportunity para ma-apply siya. So, this strategy is effective in helping the students achieve a wide range of academic and social outcomes, including enhanced achievement, improve self-esteem, so makatabang po ni siya nga ma-boost ang self-confidence, positive interpersonal relationships with other students, improve time management skills, and positive attitudes towards school. Many of these outcomes can be achieved concurrently rather than being developed in isolation. It is particularly useful for the following reasons. So, useful ni siya sa kaninga mga reason. So, first is having the students work together result in more learning than when the students work alone, competitively, or individually. So, kanang makatabang po ni siya nga kanang mas maganahan mo learn ang students if dili la siya nga usad. If naa siya kauban, mas ganahan ang students mo learn if naa siya kauban. So, the students will also like school better, will like one another better, and will learn more effective social skills when cooperative learning is used. So, ang students is mas ganahan pa siya mo eskwela dya. Kanang mas ganahan siya nga ganahan siya kanang makamao siya nga naa siya kauban. So maka-improve po ni siya nga sa iyang nga social skills. So second is it teaches the students to be less reliant on the teacher and more reliant on their own ability to think, to seek information from other sources, and learn from other students. They become empowered to take greater responsibility for their own learning and for the learning of others. So, ang students is di na siya murag reliant sa teacher, di na siya magsalig sa teacher, di na siya magsalig sa iyang kaugalingon nga panghuna-huna. So, maka-learn ang students nga kanang mangayo siya og kanang other nga information sa iyang kauban, and diri ra iyang nga learning ang iyang gihuna-huna as well as kanang hunahunaan po niya kung unsa ang ma-learn sa uban. Next is, cooperative learning helps the students learn to respect one another's strengths and limitations and to accept these differences. So, ang cooperative learning is makatabang po siya sa students nga irespeto ang isig ka tao niya or ay nga classmates kung unsa ang kakayahan, kung unsa ang weakness, and ija pong i-accept kung unsa ang kalahian na ana niya sa ija nga classmate. So, this is very important in culturally diverse classrooms and in classrooms that include students with disabilities. So, maka-help po ni siya sa classroom nga kanang naay students nga naay disability. So, it helps also the students understand that different points of view need to be divisive, but they can be a positive aspect of developing an understanding of a subject. It can boost the students' confidence and self-esteem because it allows all the students, not just the high achievers, to experience learning success. So, makaboost po di siya og confidence sa students, and not only sa katong mga bright, katong na mga high achievers, sa katong mga honors, but sa tanan ni siya nga kanang maka-experience og learning para mahimong success. It can change the students' view about learning. It helps them to move from seeing learning as individual memorization of facts to seeing it as a collective construction of understanding. So, mausob ang point of view sa student sa pag-learn. So, kanang diri ra kanang the way sa pagbasa, sa kung usa ilahang nakitaan. So, makahelp ni siya sa kanang pag-memorize sa students. Or kanang mas mo lawak ang ilahang learning o ilahang understanding. So, it emphasizes democratic thought and practice as a desirable way for people to interact, whatever the focus of their interaction. So, kanang ma-practice pud ang kung unsa ang i-desire sa tao nga kanang na i-interact nila. It is appropriate to use when the students are engaged to large problem-solving tasks and research projects in which the task is heavy for the one person and time is limited, or where more than one person is needed to manipulate equipment, perform the experiment, collect, and analyze data. So, dako po ni siya gamit if ang student is kanang mo-engage na siya og dako nga problem. So, for example, research project. So, kung daghan na siya og task, so di man na siya makaya nimo if one person ra, if ikaw ra ang mo buhat. So, kailangan jud na siya og kanang another person nga motabang nimo sa kanang pagkuan sa equipment, sa pag-perform og experiment, sa pag-analyze sa data, sa tanan. It ensured that all the students are socially integrated into networks of positive peer relationships. This helped the students to become skilled in constructive conflict resolution, and this can be reduced antisocial behavior like bullying. These benefits do not occur rapidly. The students can develop all these positive attributes if they have been engaged successfully in cooperative learning for 4 or more weeks. So, most studies look at the advantages to the students. Few research identified its benefits to the teacher. The study of Gavey 1994 showed that teachers who employed cooperative learning are more enthusiastic than those who do not use it. Also, Shakar and Shmulevitz 1975 found that teachers who use cooperative learning in their classrooms express a significantly greater degree of efficacy in promoting the learning of slow students compared with the teachers who do not employ cooperative learning in their classrooms at all. So, consequently, Keelan 2009 suggested these considerations when using cooperative learning. So, mauni ang gisuggest ni Kellen. So, use cooperative learning if you want to encourage the learners to develop their social skills while learning academic content. And if you want the students to use their prior knowledge as a foundation for examining issues, is depth. And if you want the students to explore issues from multiple perspectives. And if you want the students to develop their ability to learn collaboratively. The learning task is too big for individual students to undertake, and do not use cooperative learning if the students do not have the basic skills required for collaboration and teamwork. So, di mo i-allow ang cooperative learning if ang students wala sila ay basic skills, and kay required man siya og collaboration and teamwork. So, And then, the students lack the prior knowledge to guide their collaborative learning. And lastly, there is insufficient time for the students to collaboratively investigate, discuss, and think about the things you want them to learn. So, mao to siya ang positive and negative nga kuan sa cooperative learning, ang disadvantages ug advantages. So, next is how to use cooperative learning as a strategy in class. So, teacher's preparation. So, the teacher's task is to get the students to work as a team, exchange ideas, think critically and analytically, and help one another to learn. So, the teacher needs to prepare the following. So, maani ang dapat i-prepare sa teacher. First is, give the students guidance and practice in helping one another to learn. So, kailangan nga atong i-guide, atong i-practice ang atong students nga mutabang sa isig ka estudyante nila nga para maka-learn. So, next is, specify clearly what outcomes you want the learners to achieve. So, as a teacher, maging specific, atong i-clear and be specific kung unsa ang outcomes nga atong gusto nga ma-achieve sa learners. And then, decide what content, issues, problems, or theories the students will focus on as they try to achieve the outcome. So, mag-decide ta kung unsa nga content nga atong ihatag na sa ilaha, kung unsa nga issues, problems, and theories nga ilaha nga focusan and ilaha nga i-try nga i-achieve. Then, select what you think will be the most appropriate form of cooperative learning to use. Then, we must prepare the materials. So, mag-prepare tag materials. Decide how to form the group. So, mag-decide ta kung unsaon na to pag-group sila. Then, explain to the students in detail how the cooperative learning sessions will operate, what you expect from them, how you will assess them, and how they will be assessed. So, i-explain nato sa students kung in detail kung unsa operate sa cooperative learning and kung unsa ang atong gi-expect sa ilaha and kung unsa po dato sila pag-assess. Then, develop a system of recognizing and rewarding the learning of individual students as well as the achievement of the group. So mao na siya. So, mag-develop po tag system nga mag-recognize ta and maghatag tag reward sa learners nga para makaingon sila nga na-appreciate nato sila nga ang ilahang gibuhat is kanang worth it ang ilahang gibuhat. And as a group pod, maghatag po ta nila o kung unsa ang ilahang ato i-recognize kung unsa ilahang achievement. Then, prepare appropriate assessments instruments so that the students will be able to demonstrate their mastery and retention of academic content and skills after the cooperative groups have completed their work. So, mag-prepare po ta og assessment instruments so that the students will be able to demonstrate. So, ilahang i-demo kung unsa ang ilahang gihimo, kung unsa ang ilahang gikuan nga content. So, kung unsa ang ilahang na complete nga work. So, next is develop a system for keeping records of the group and individual achievements of the students and for publicly acknowledging the student achievements of the group. So, i-keep na to ang mga records sa groups and even individual achievements sa students. Kay in the end is ato na sila i-acknowledge publicly kung unsa ilaha nga achievement as a group or individually. And next is plan a period, a reflection, so that after the groups have completed their tasks and received their feedback, the students can analyze their achievements and their group process. So, mag-plan po ta og reflection nga. So, after the groups have completed their tasks, nga kailangan and kung na-receive na nila ang feedback nga para ma-analyze sa students kung unsa ang ilaha nga achievement, kung unsa pa ang ilang ipuno sa ilaha nga kanang ilaha nga gihimo nga work or unsa pang ilang nga i-improve. Next is implementing cooperative learning. The teacher is expected to plan, manage, and monitor the learning environment so that the students can maximize learning together as a team. After doing the suggested steps for preparation, the teacher can proceed with the following. First is assign the students in groups. It makes the students more alert to the instructions to be given to them. So, atong i-assign ang student in groups. Explain clearly the outcomes that the students are to achieve and provide clear directions about the academic tasks that each group will undertake. So, explain na to clearly kung unsang ang outcomes nga i-achieve sa students. Explain how the learning of individual students will be assessed. Then, remind the students of your expectations from them, particularly in relation to helping one another learn, and of the cooperative goal structure, the rewards for learning. So, atong i-remind ang students kung unsang atong gi-expect sa ilaha samot na sa relation nila kung unsa sa pag-learn nila as a team, as a group. And then, ato pud i-remind sila sa ilahang nga kung unsa ang ilahang nga rewards sa ilahang pag-learn. Then, provide the students with resources if necessary. So, i-provide na to ang students na to kung naamang ganit tay mga resources nga na connect sa ato nga activity nga gihatag. Then, remind the students how long they have for the cooperative learning and get them started. So, i-remind po nato ang students kung kanus ara kutob ug unsa nga time mahuman ang ilaha nga group activity. Then, move around, visit each group to provide assistance and monitor the activities and learning of the students to make notes of matters that will need to be dealt with once the group activities have finished. So, kailangan po nato i-visit sila group kay mag-provide po tag assistance. So, dapat po nato sila i-monitor sa ilang gihimo kay para makahimo po tag assessment kung unsa ang ilang kung unsa ang ilang gibuhat, kung unsa ilang need i-improve sa ilang activity. Then, bring the lesson to a logical conclusion. Evaluate the student achievement and help assess how will they collaborated with one another.
What are the advantages of using collaborative learning as a strategy in class? So the advantages of using collaborative learning as a strategy in class is in group work, students will learn from their fellow students, and also it improves their critical thinking, communication skills, and enhances problem solving. So, kanang critical thinking during the group work, During the group work process, students will be expressing their opinions or ideas with the other students in the group, providing feedback. This feedback to each student will include critique as well as the interpretation of the opinions or ideas expressed. And enhances problem solving. Each group work provided for collaborative learning will require some problem solving, and every member in the group will need to help solve the problem in order to complete the task. And improves communication skills. Working in groups to learn will encourage people to improve their communication skills. They will need to learn how to communicate their opinions or ideas, and how to listen or appreciate to other people's opinions or ideas.
Implications of collaborative learning as a strategy in class. So, collaborative learning has become recognized as a means of encouraging deep learning and a key technique in problem and experience based learning. For computing students' collaboration, it is not only a learning strategy but a learning outcome. Well, this is not a new idea. There appears to be reluctance on the part of teachers and students to create and take those opportunities. But there are limitations in using this strategy. So here are some of the limitations. So first, magbuhat tag limitations if ang students need to get a different speeds, because sometimes there are students that is going to pass without waiting to see if others well understands. So magbutang gihapon tag limitation ani sa paggamit ani nga strategy, kay there are some students nga kanang nagdali-dali ra sila, kanang nagmind ra sila kung unsa ang ilaha na without knowing nga ang uban nila nga kauban wala kasabot. So second is there are students who tend to take over the group. So naay magpa-leader. So kailangan jud nato nga limitahan gihapon. And then lastly, there are students works unfairly because sometimes it is only one or two people who take the brunt of the work, and this isn't fair to anyone in the group. So naay uban nga kanang unfair kaayo sa ilaha, kay sila ang usahay, sila ra ang nagabuhat, then ang uban nila nga ka-group is wala ra, sige rag tan-aw. So unfair kaayo sa uban. So kailangan gihapon nato nga limitahan, kay kanang usahay mahimo ninong magsalig ang uban nga group sa ilaha nga leader or sa ilaha nga assistant leader. So mana siya. So kanang it is very challenging pod sa mga teachers nga nagamit ani nga strategy.
Hopefully, you have gained knowledge from what we have discussed today, and may God bless all of you.